Test. All right. Hey, H's, Y's, this video is for you. I'm going to do just kind of a talk over of what your job is on our plays here to try to help you guys out. Thankfully, a lot of your calls and what you do is exactly what the linemen do. So really you need to study and kind of know what the linemen do on a lot of these plays because you're doing the same thing. But I'm going to go over these plays to try to help you guys out. So first one we'll talk about is dive. So just looking at the Y that's on the line of scrimmage here. It doesn't matter if you're on the front side or back side, but your rule always is that if there's someone in your gap, so we're going to dive to the right, your gap is the gap to your right. And if there's a guy in your gap, you have a base block where you're trying to get in front of him, get your head to the play side number. If there's a guy on or backside shoulder of you, you have a chip block, which means you're just going to bring your backside shoulder, keep your play side arm free, and then the tackle is going to try to take him over. Now, if there's no one in your gap or on top of you, you have what's called a bow, which means you just check your gap. You're just going to take a shuffle step over, check your gap before you work up to the second level, and you're working up to the next play side back or whoever that might be. Okay, so base, chip, bow. That's your progression. Gap, on, play side backer. That's your rule on dive. That's also your rule on sweep. Your rule on sweep is your gap, on, to next play side backer. Okay, the only difference in sweep is that you're trying to reach him with the scoop block instead of trying to attack him vertically. Okay, so that's your rule for dive and sweep. Let's look at counter here. Let's look at this one. Okay, if you're this Y here and you're on the backside of counter, you have a wheel and seal just like the backside tackle does. So you're responsible for C gap to D gap. So you're going to step down hard. If there's someone in this C gap, you're going to try to log them. If there's no one in that C gap, then you're going to turn back and block whoever's back, and you're just going to try to wall off the backside. You're going to try to join the wall and step down and replace the tackle because the tackle is stepping down and replacing the guard, and we're trying to create a wall on the backside. Okay. Now, if you were on the front side, let's say, look at the tackle here. Your rule is down to backside backer. That's your rule, down to backside backer. Okay. Let's see if I can find another one for you here to show you. Sure enough, I don't have another one where you are on the play side. Let's just look at, I know we don't run this formation, but we'll look at this one. So Y, if you're on the play side, you're going to down if there's someone in your gap, you're just going to go down. You're going to block down on them and try to wash them down as far as you can. If there's no one in your gap, then you're going to go down to the first backer inside, FBI. So your rule is really simple, down to backer. If there's someone head up on you, that's the guy we're kicking out. Okay, if he's head up on you, he's a 6 technique, we're kicking him out. If he's outside of you, we're kicking him out. But if he's inside in your gap, you're going to down block him and try to wash him all the way down. If there's no one in your gap, then you're just going to go all the way down to backside backer. Okay, or first backer inside. That's what you're going to do if you're on the play side of power or counter. Those are your rules. Okay, backside, you wheel and seal. Play side, you go down to backer. Okay, never block anyone on top of you or outside of you, always down to backer. Okay. Trap. Look at that. Here you go. So for trap, if you're on the backside, you're wheeling and sealing. If you're on the play side, so our rule on trap, the guy that we're kicking out is the first person on or outside the guard. Okay, so it could be a 2 technique, a 3 technique, a 4 technique, a 5 technique. Usually there's a guy somewhere in there. If you're on the play side here, most likely you're going to have a guy on your outside shoulder. You're going to punch him for 1 second before you go up to the next level. We're just trying to hold him off outside. You can't let him cross your face. You got to make him go to the outside, and you're just going to punch for 1 second before you go up, because this guy's not going to make the play, because we're going to kick out inside and run the ball downhill. So make sure you just give a punch and then go up to the second level as it shows right here. Like I said, if you're on the backside, you're just wheeling and sealing like you would on power and counter, because the tackle is trying to replace the guard who's pulling, and you're trying to replace the tackle, just trying to join the wall. That's what you're trying to do. See if we can find here. Let's go to our game against Henry Sibley here, and let's find when we were tackles, or when we were tight ends. I'm sorry. Let's find our tight end formations. Okay, so let's look at this play right here. We can talk through all of our plays. So as this tight end, if we were running sweep to the left, you would check your gap. You have a guy in your gap, so you have a scoop block, and you're trying to reach his outside armpit. For dive, same thing. If you run a dive to the left, you have a guy in your gap. You're going to try to get your head to the play side number and try to block him straight back. Now, if we're running dive or sweep to the right, you would look to your right side. You see that this guy is head up on the tackle. He's still in your gap. Okay? Your gap is from the nose of the guy next to you to your play side shoulder. So if it was sweep, you would try to reach and overtake that guy. If it was dive, you would try to get in front of him and take him over still, and then drive him back, drive him straight back. Okay? Now, running power to your side. Your rule is down to backside backer. We are kicking out the first person on or outside you, because you're the in man on the line of scrimmage. So you check your gap, your backside gap. There's a guy in your gap, so you're going to down block him. Okay, if his hip disappears, which means if he goes inside, or if you push him inside, then you're going to continue going to FBI, first backer inside. Okay, but if his hip stays and he doesn't move, he doesn't disappear, then you're just going to stay on him, and you're trying to wash him down as far as you can, because we're trying to open up this funnel as big as we can, and it's all up to you as the tight end. You got to really wash this guy down, because we're going to try to kick out. We'll try to kick out, and we're going to try to pull and pick up a backer. Okay, so it's really, really important that you get a good wash when you block down here. Okay, so let's just watch what happens. I think this is a play where we screw up here. Okay, so this is where you should be down right away. You're getting a double team help from this guy, from the tackle. Okay, we're all just trying to block down. Okay, create a wall. Guard should be pulling up and through. 8 should be kicking out right there, and we should have a nice wall. But it's all predicated on you getting some good wash here. So notice right here, this is a good job. This is an excellent, excellent job of washing the guy down here and staying on him. But the one thing is that I would say you need to get down on the hip. Try to get on his hip, because that's going to make him move more here. So we down block, okay? We wash him down, trying to create this wall. This is excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, the only problem is that we didn't get our guard up and into the hole. Okay, our guard, this is where we screwed up. Okay, the wrong guard pulled. I really don't know exactly what happened here, but this is a very nice job blocking down. This is a really nice job kicking out. And notice we have a big, big hole right here. And if we got the correct guard pulling right there, or he might go attack that guy, this is a touchdown. But notice how big this hole is. That's great. Also, our running back didn't bounce it one wider. He ran it too far inside. Okay, but this is what it should look like on our power and our counter if you're on the play side. power and counter, both on play side, this is exactly what you should do. Okay. Now, if you're on the back side here, watch what Wickern does here, our tackle. Okay. Oh, once again, this is not a good look because they thought we were running power to the right side. Let's watch here. We're not going to pull there. I'm trying to show you a wheel and seal. That's right. We'll talk about it later. So once again, here, let's just pretend if you were on the line of scrimmage. Okay, we're running sweep. Let's say we're running sweep to the left. Okay, first thing you would do is check your gap. There's no one in your gap. Okay, so then you would check on you. So gap on. There's someone on top of you here. Then you have a slip block or a double team. Okay, you're going to say slip, slip, slip. And this tackle is going to take him over and you're going to help him out, but you're going to keep your gap side arm free. In case of anybody, this guy could come to your gap, that guy could come to your gap, this guy could come over to your gap. Whoever comes to your gap, that's when you're going to get off and block them. Okay. So Canole here, okay, we're just kind of putzing around. So you check your gap. This guy goes inside, so you don't have anyone in your gap, on top of you, backside. So this is when you need to start climbing to the next level right away. Okay, don't dance around. Climb up to the next level and look inside. Go attack them. Go attack them right now. Don't stand and be a spectator. Okay, you could have got up and blocked that guy who's making the tackle, and this could have been a touchdown instead of just standing around. Okay, you need to go gap, on, no one there, no one there, immediately up to back right away. That's how it needs to be. It needs to be decisive. Let's watch this play here. Okay, once again here. So Cam, let's watch this tight end right here. Let's watch you. Okay, so you down. You need to stay on this guy. Okay, his hip has not disappeared. You need to stay. You need to stay on him. Okay, your first rule is down and then to backer. Okay, so if his hip doesn't disappear, you need to try to wash him as far as you can. Because guess what? We have this guard that should be pulling to him. Okay, and he does. That's where he gets. That's where he gets to. But look who makes a tackle. The guy that you needed to stay on and wash down. Okay, if there's a guy in your gap, go wash him down as far as you can. That is your job. I'm trying to make it as simple as I can for you. If you got a guy in your gap, go down, block him, and wash him as far as you can unless he disappears. And if he disappears, then you just keep staying on your track and you go block first backer inside. That's your rule. That's all you have to do. Okay? We want to try to create this wall as big as we can, but it's all predicated on you being aggressive and washing the guy down as far as you can. Okay, and making sure that we get a good kick out block here and trying to drive the guy out and making a big funnel. That's what we're trying to do here. I think we watched the rest of these here already. Yep. Okay. Hopefully that helps out and kind of what we need to do as a tight end here. Watch the video. Let me know if you have any questions.